Well, let's see if we're back on. I'm hoping it didn't create a whole new. It might have created a whole new live chat thing. Holy moly! So, okay, let me see what happens. My internet connection is unstable. Great. This is the kind
Just
of stuff
Satan.
that makes my
You can go back to hell now.
brain hurt. So it says that we're back on, and I see people seeing us back. This chat that we have, I'm not sure if it's going to work anymore or if it's broken, but oh, now they're saying the audio is good. Now they're getting a signal, so we might be fine. It's all okay. Oh, it did start a new live chat? Okay, so, I'm just getting a 5-5 on the other. That's so weird. Well, you guys know how this goes. Did anyone hear me introduce Amanda and all the stuff I said about her, or do we need to go back and do all that? Because I should be on a load delay here. It should be on the same. Anyway, did anyone hear my intro? This is how it goes, guys, and just, be patient, and I appreciate it. We might just, even if they heard it, we could just start over and do it again. Why not? So, in case anyone didn't hear my intro for
Yeah.
Amanda, I'll just do it again. What I said was when I was, oh, they didn't hear it. Okay. I got to have the right chat. I don't know that this is the right chat, so I'm just going to close that out and just click back and forth once in a while. So, what I had said, you guys, about Amanda is the way that I met her is when we were at a convention in Dallas, Texas. She was getting a lot of attention up on stage, and I was a little bit jealous. And I had seen her because she lives around Billings. And when I say jealous, not in an angry, jealous kind of way, but in just the way of, you know, I wanted to kind of be up there and telling my story. But when I got to hear Amanda's story and I got to meet her personally and get to know her, I just knew this was somebody that I could get along with really well, great connection with. And that has been the truth. It's been a total blessing. And so that's how we met. It started out with me being like this, and it turned out we became good friends. And she's an awesome gold and silver specialist. So that's how we met. And now, Amanda, if you want, you can tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah. I will tell you that I was just hearing about every other word you said, Erin. So can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Darn. This just keeps being an issue, huh? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Well, I'll just, yeah, yeah. It's the screen is frozen a little, well, it's totally frozen. So I just wondered if you could hear me.
I can, and you're not frozen over here.
Okay, cool. You tell me when to go again,
You
because
go. You go ahead and tell us about you.
I
Go
feel there's
ahead.
a delay, but I'm not sure.
Go. Just go ahead and start telling us about you.
All right, so my name's Amanda. I live in Knoxville,
Yes.
Tennessee. I've lived here about a year and a half, and I met Erin, gosh, over 2 years ago. And I'm from Billings, Montana, where Erin lives, and I love Montana. I love Billings, but I was living there, and I'm a single mom. I've got 2 kids, and I was working a lot. And I mean, lots of hours. I'm in the beauty business, so I had a salon put in my home, and I was working around the clock just to pay the mortgage and take care of my kids. So it was a struggle. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with my kids. My oldest is 9 years older than my youngest, so she was like the built-in babysitter. I wasn't totally proud of that, but I felt like a failure as a mother, and financially, emotionally, I was completely hopeless. I always knew there was another way, but I couldn't find it. And so I was just working my life away. But some friends of mine, who Erin knows, they came to me and told me about this company called 7K Metals. And just being totally transparent, right off the bat, I said, is it network marketing? And it is similar. It's member direct marketing, but it is similar. And I had tried something similar before with a nutritional company, and it went very badly. I lost a lot of money in that because I was, buying samples and giving them away. People would ask me to buy back the product. It didn't work and all that crap. But so I was really hesitant to even look at it. But I watched my friend. She was 73 years old. She had never been a part of anything like this. She was on Social Security, barely getting by. Do this. And she was explaining to me about gold and silver. And I thought, wow, what a product, gold and silver. I mean, I always heard about it. I just didn't know nothing really about it, except that maybe only the rich had it. And I certainly wasn't rich, so I didn't have any. But I wanted it, and I started to understand why it was important to have it. And I know a lot of you know it already, but I didn't know a few years ago. Thank God you have Erin, who's been, educating you guys. So I jumped in because I wanted a different life for me and my kids. And it was just such a small, investment to get started. And it made sense. There was nothing to lose there because you could actually buy gold and silver. So I jumped in, and here we are 3 years later. And I've always wanted to live over here in Knoxville. My family lives here, and my daughter wanted to go to college here. She graduates. She's a senior this year. So I'm really excited about that. But I didn't have a way to get here. I definitely couldn't leave my job because I couldn't provide for my kids if I did. And 7K Metals gave me that, which is super important. Has totally changed my life. I now have tons of gold and silver, thousands and thousands of dollars that I never even had a few years ago. But more importantly, I have relationships with people like Erin. I've met so many incredible people in this. When it's true, you really want to surround yourself with people that are searching for something greater. And I love entrepreneurs, and she's an entrepreneur. I mean, it's just so refreshing, and she's so uplifting, and it's been a great ride. And 3 years later, we're sitting here in this coronavirus pandemic, and so many people are losing their jobs and hopeless, like I was feeling a few years ago. And I'm just so grateful to have something to take care of my family. If I didn't have this, I don't know where I would be, honestly. I'd be screwed. But I just feel really blessed to be able to help others now, the way I was helped a few years ago. So I'm really excited to be here. I think I just rambled. I could go on and on forever, but I'm just real excited, Erin. Thank you for having me. Sometimes when I get nervous, I talk a lot.
Well, I don't think it's rambling, and I hope that you're going to be able to hear my voice coming through. I hope that there's not too bad of a connection. But I was going to mention that one of the reasons that I do the raffles is to get the silver in people's hands that haven't considered signing up yet, because once they get it in their hands, there's this just this natural understanding that it's real money. And I have someone in the chat that was asking if you were doing isogenics before. Was that something what was the business you did?
No, it was Lavelle, the Thrive experience. And nothing against any nutritional. I think it's equally as important to take care of our own bodies. I mean, obviously we need to take care of ourselves financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically. So I 100% will tell you, you need to be taking vitamins. But it wasn't about that. It was that there's so many options out there. I mean, you mentioned isogenics. I've actually tried that one. I've tried 20 other ones. If somebody told me it was going to help me feel better, lose weight, and have some more energy, I tried it. But the truth is, it's not for everybody. There's hundreds and thousands of different products. There's only one gold and silver. You know what I mean? It just makes complete sense. I think I kind of went off on a tangent there, but
no,
it wasn't for everybody what I had. But this is for everybody. what I have now is for everybody. I'm proud to share this. And I'm not going to give you a sample if you ask, so I'm not going to go broke
right.
giving out samples. I'm definitely not going to have you taste it.
Oh,
So
yeah. Like have them put
it
it in
just
their mouth.
makes sense.
Well, and it makes sense. That's because if you look at oil today, you and I sent you a video, and I sent that to a lot of other people too. And so some people may have watched this video already by Mike Maloney, but today oil didn't only drop in price, it actually went into the negative. So what that means is they're selling into the future for May's futures for selling their oil barrels, and they're not selling them. They're actually paying people to take these oil barrels for the future because oil went into the negative. And what that means for other countries where they base their currency solely on oil, now we kind of have a petrodollar, but we're able to produce and use our own oil, and we also import some. But the major producers like Saudi Arabia and Russia and a few other countries have kind of Saudi Arabia shot themselves in the foot because they actually caused some of this oil drop. But now that we're seeing something that we have that's unprecedented, and this is going to make currencies in other countries absolutely zero. And you understand what that means, right? Like that goes into hyperinflation. And we've seen this. And that's when we go into hyperinflation, at first it's a deflation like this. Everybody's like, hey, great gas prices. But then the next thing we might start to see is our prices really going up. And we're going to see bailouts, massive, massive bailouts, which means just printing and printing of money. And I think it was Rashida Tlaib just reintroduced the digital dollar. And you and I talked about what could that mean under this one world government, one world currency, one world religion. And why don't you tell us like your concerns about that and why, how, because again, we're not talking about the end of days where we're like the road movie situation where we're trading, pieces of wheat and stuff like that. You guys, we're not there yet. And so we got to talk about how gold and silver is really the thing to protect all the other wealth that we're trying to keep and not lose. But I mean, why don't you speak on that I know you have opinions about that.
Well, yes, so today is a history. We'll go into the history books because in those countries, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and more countries like that, a severe crisis was created, and it's so unfortunate to see. But right here in the United States, we are the largest producer of oil in the world today. We consume all of our oil, and then we import on top of that. Import.
Yeah.
So, I mean, think about all the little cities, little towns around our country that that's what sustains them is our oil production. So again, those massive bailouts are coming, and it's really, really hurting our dollar. And if you're not educated on gold and silver, it's so unfortunate. I feel so bad. I mean, so many of those little towns and cities are going to lose everything. The housing market's going to crash, business after business.
Yes.
It's like a snowball effect. Look at North Dakota and Texas and all over our country. Yeah, they're screwed. I can't imagine. It's just scary time we're living in. And I don't say scary, don't be running around scared, but it's just crazy watching this history happen right here, right now,
Well, and
it's terrible. And like you said, the hyperinflation, but
yep.
it just really solidifies what we're doing. Gold is going to skyrocket,
That
it's
is
just
very
so important
likely.
that people.
That is very likely that it will,
Yeah.
because even if the currency went to nothing, then it would be the only money, and we would have to use it to just either get out of Dodge or kind of travel around this country. But if it doesn't go to nothing and we get a gold backed currency, well, it's going to go back to its actual value, which could be tenfold what it is today. Imagine gold at 1,700 now going up to 17,000. It's a possibility. And it's a possibility that silver could go up to $900 an ounce or higher, or it could even supersede what gold is at, which would be totally crazy. And so this is what we're talking about by protecting wealth is like, let's say
Wow.
Amanda or I owned our house. Well, Mike Maloney even talked about this. He had somebody that he was talking about a friend that had a mortgage, or their parents had a mortgage, and they happened to have $100 bill. and their currency went to nothing, they were able to pay off their mortgage of their house completely with that $100 bill, even though they hadn't even remotely paid off the house much yet. I don't think it was that old, but because they had this currency crisis, they were able to pay off their house. So did it become the end of the world for them where they couldn't get food and they had to leave? No, they were able to pay off their house and stay there as they had to have a reset. So we may have a monetary reset or we may not, but our gold and silver is going to be valuable no matter what. And it doesn't mean that the world is going to come crashing down and we're all going to be living in poverty on the streets unless you don't have gold and silver, like Amanda said. And as far as educated on it, the first best thing you can do is just buy it, and then you're going to learn about it. I think we're on a
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's the biggest blessing for me. I mean, yeah, I was hearing it go real slow and then speed way up. So
yeah, that's fun.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah. Yep, I can.
Okay. Yeah, just buying it. I mean, even in little small amounts, it doesn't matter if you can only afford a dime or 100-ounce bar. I mean, it doesn't matter. You need to get it. You need to get it.
So
you need to get rid of the old thinking that we've been so brainwashed. With the, sorry, I don't know where we're at here.
Yeah, it's a delay problem, and it's fine. What I would say is, because there's a delay, if you have a thought, just finish saying it, and if you hear me interrupt, just finish saying your thought anyway, and then I'll know you're done, because then you can say go ahead or something. But you were mentioning earlier, there's a lot of people unemployed right now, and what would you say? I mean, can we offer them a job?
We could offer way more than that. Like I was saying, the old thinking, it's what most people run on, is you got to get a job and get that check. They're looking for the next paycheck. How many people are sitting around right now who haven't been paid and who haven't got a paycheck in weeks? They're scared. They're looking for something. I mean, or they don't know what to do. We definitely have something to offer here. I mean, for me, I had a job, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't cutting it. I couldn't even afford to get started. So guess what I did? I sold something to get started. So you know what? When you want to change your life, you get creative, and that's all it takes. Get creative, get inspired. Listen, I know this COVID-19 for some people is really scary. Some people are pissed off about it. It's just the craziest thing. It's like the Twilight Zone, but we need to look at it at a different way. We need to flip it around and look at it. Let's get inspired. It's time to start building up our own wealth. It's time for us to start working for ourselves. I mean, get back to planting your own garden and make sure you've got your family set up. You need to be an entrepreneur today, whether you decide to join a silver money-making opportunity or not. You need to be an entrepreneur. You have to be. You can't rely on somebody to make your paycheck anymore. And it's, if anything, the COVID-19, that's what it's doing. It's showing a lot of people, and it says in the Bible that difficult times come, but they come for a reason. And you got to find the good in it and find the lesson in it. And this is not the end of the world, but what are you going to do to grow from this? I know a lot of people are ticked off because they're having a hard time getting unemployment, or that what's it called, the bailout money or whatever. The families get $1,700 or $500 or whatever. Right. Okay, that's great. Wait on that. Right. Keep plugging into that. Keep checking in on Sundays for your unemployment. That's fine. But now let's get creative. And we have the best thing. You cannot get better than gold and silver owning your own business. It's fail proof.
Right. And do you sell? I mean, you don't have to sell your own gold and silver.
It's exciting. If you have a home business or any sort of business, you better be working it harder than ever now today. There's so many people out there that need a solution. Be the solution. Be the solution to your friends. I'm the solution. That's God. That's why God gave me this gift of 7K metals, so I can go out there and gift it to others, help them change their lives. We're here to mentally benefit each other and give each other a solution to this problem. So
Yeah, and what I would say is, what one question a lot of people ask is, do you have to sell gold and silver? Are you selling your coins? Are you selling your numismatics? Are you selling that? Is that how you earn income? Are you selling everything that you own in order to make money?
No, I'm not selling mine to make money. Um, I mean, I have a lot of, like I said, I have quite a bit of gold and silver now put away. But the nice thing is, if I need to, I can. Although I had a couple of friends post on Facebook looking for something I had, a numismatic coin, two numismatic coins that I had that you cannot get anywhere else in the world. The people who have them now are, that's it. It's not being produced. It was low mintage. That's it. So I had it, and I thought, you know, I'm helping a friend out, but I'm, you know, we're benefiting. Like I said, it's a mutual getting what they need. I get what I need. I put a price on it. They took it. And so I have made money on my gold and silver. Not that I needed to at this point, because thankfully I'm able to make money with this company. But that's the beauty of gold and silver. You can turn around and sell it at any point. And especially with numismatic coins, you can put your own price on it. And I put my own price on it. And I made $100, 2 ounces. That doesn't happen anywhere. You aren't going to sell your nutritional supplements on eBay and make $100.
Right, and they're not going to become more valuable over time, where you're seeing this become more valuable over time. And so, would you explain, like, numismatics is a big word that a lot of people don't understand. What is a numismatic coin?
Well, so a numismatic coin, just an easy thing to understand, is it's a collectible. It's worth its weight in gold or silver. But it's worth far more than that because it's now a collectible coin. There's lots of different numismatic coins. The ones I prefer to collect are MS-69 and MS-70 coins, and I love MS-70 American Silver Eagles. They're my favorite. But there's a lot of options out there, and so it's a collectible coin. So let's just say I'm going to tell you what an MS-70 numismatic coin is. So like I said, I like American Silver Eagle MS-70 coins. So MS means mint state. 70 is the highest rating on the Sheldon scale. So if it was a 0, it would be unrecognizable. You can't tell what it was. It's just a chunk of metal, you know, silver, but it's been completely worn down, right? Well, 70 is absolutely flawless and perfect. It's been put under magnification several times. There's no dings, dents, scratches. It's only been touched by gloved hands, and it's put in an acrylic case. And I have no idea if camera is even, you guys are even in anything at this point. I know Erin's frozen on my end, but this is an MS-70 American Silver Eagle. Yep. And they're okay, yeah. So it's pretty bright. Oh, there you go. Erin's picture is pretty clear. We got almost the same one. Ooh, early release. Anyways, so they're put in these acrylic cases and given a serial number, and now they're collectible coins, so they're worth far more than just the, you know, the silver value in the case. So numismatic coin, that's what numismatic coins are, and there's lots of them. We got gold ones, silver ones, different ones from around the world. Gold's really awesome because it's really difficult to get, you know, like an MS-70 gold, because gold's so much softer than silver. So those are more rare, more valuable. There's awesome different, you know, people collect, everybody collects something. 95% of America collects something. My mom collected like old teapots and those acrylic, or I don't know what they were, ceramic masks, like Mardi Gras masks. We had those hanging all over our house. It was crazy.
That's a very nice.
When I was a kid. Yeah. That was my mom. I know people that collect Beanie Babies and baseball cards and this and that and whatever. And this is another collectible, but it's far more valuable. You know, it's gold and silver. So if you're going to collect something, you might as well collect, you know, those masks. Those ended up in the dump when she realized it wasn't so great, and we moved so many times and some of them broke or whatever. You don't throw your gold and silver away when you're sick of it. So it's a great thing to collect.
And I'll let you know, Amanda, don't worry about the stream. When they watch it, when people, if it's too much buffering for them, they can come watch it later and it will play back smoothly, even if there's a little delay.
Oh,
It's
good.
not a big deal. So we're just going to keep going because what happened the first time is it actually shut down completely, but I'm watching it now. So I know it's not shutting down. It's just buffering. So we'll just keep going and don't stress. In fact, and if anyone can stress, it's just me because people will tell this is terrible. It's buffering, blah, blah, blah. So it's okay. I can take it. And most people are actually really good. They're praying for us. They're praying for the stream. We have a great community here. So don't you worry about it. And I'm also telling myself not to
I have seen that, Erin.
about the community.
Whenever I go back and watch I got to figure out how to get notifications so I can watch them on the spot. Yeah, I go back and I see the comments and I see everything that's going on. And what you have an amazing community. I
Yeah.
love it. And these are the type of people we like to be surrounded by.
It's a blessing because there was a time where I prayed a lot for the people in my life to not just be good Christians, but safe people that would help me grow in any way that I need to grow. And you're right, like gardening, learning how to do stuff on your own, being more self-sufficient, maybe even homeschooling our kids. There's so many positive things we can look at with what's going on. But what's been frustrating for some people is I loved what you said earlier because I didn't even think to say it. You said something earlier about, we're in a silver shortage right now. So speaking numismatics, if you want to speak on that in 2020s, but you also mentioned that there's no other company where you can order a roll of silver eagles and get them in 2 days. Talk about that.
Yeah. So that kind of goes back to the old thinking. I mean, the men who started 7K Metals, our founders, the cool thing is their age range, and they've been through so much in business and they know so much about gold and silver. They're just so educated and they want to stay ahead of the curve, ahead of the time. We're farther ahead of anybody else as far as this goes. They actually put away a reserve in case something like this happened. Like, I just think that's great. These other companies, they're taking your money and they're sending you a promissory note, or it'll ship in 4 to 8 weeks. Well, 4 weeks ago they were saying 4 to 8 weeks. Now they're sending out emails to you who sent them your money, saying it's going to be another 4 to 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a scary game. I wouldn't want any part of that game. I wouldn't, and 7K Metals would never play a game like that. If they don't have it, they're not going to sell it to you. So you, at different points of the day, different times, you can go check, what we have in our shopping cart: Silver Eagle, tubes of Silver Eagles, and they ship in 2 days, or, ships within 2 days. And then we send them FedEx, so they're protected and insured. It's just a beautiful thing. They have a reserve set aside for its members, and they really are always thinking ahead. They're so far ahead. And as far as the numismatic coins go, I don't know, I'm sure you've touched on this at some point, but the 1999 MS-70 American Silver Eagle is worth upwards of $24,000-$25,000 if you own one. You're sitting on a fortune, right? You bought that coin for $200 in 1999. You had no idea what it was going to be worth these years later, right? Okay, so what happened in 1999? Everybody thought the world was coming to an end. There was a silver shortage. Everybody was scooping up gold and silver because of Y2K, and all this stuff was going to crash, and so there became a shortage. And now look what's happening today in 2000, 20 years later. The exact same thing is happening. Exact same thing. But guess what I just received in the mail 3 days ago? 2 MS-70 American Silver Eagle coins 2020 from 7K Metals. You go tell me if those other companies are sending out those. They don't have them.
I wonder, I don't know. What I did is I kind of got a little bit ahead of the curve, and I did buy some before I knew that we had them because I didn't know if we were going to get them. So I should have known better, right? And I know now that we have them, but I wasn't sure. So I did buy them from a friend in New York. He's a dealer as well. But I got two, and then I also bought from the United States Mint the proofs. But now that I know that they're coming as our monthly Silver Eagle, and that's how you get it. You can't just go in the back office. You have to actually do the monthly auto ship Silver Eagle, and that's how you're going to get a 2020. But Amanda's right. If we're going to be the only ones still selling them by the end of the year, because the Mint has stopped numismatics. They have said we are doing no more from here on out. At least not until they're sure. They might start up again in September or November, but for now, the Mint is not doing any more numismatic at this time for an indefinite amount of time. So if they do no more numismatics for 2020, yeah, we'll be sitting on a pretty nice fortune with these as well. So yay, I'm glad that we learned that about the past, because we wouldn't have known that without this company. It's like the biggest push with 7K metals, the $1.2 million mistake, right?
Yeah, yeah. I wish I had known about it sooner, but I'm thankful that we have this autosaver program. So I will never fit in that category again of making that kind of mistake. That's a big financial mistake.
One thing that Zach says, and he did say to us, is we always deliver. With 7K metals, they always deliver. And you guys, they have a really good deal with FedEx, that FedEx said, if you are still selling, we will deliver through this whole Corona thing. So we don't have to worry about not getting it, because FedEx might shut down, even though I don't think they will, because people are ordering like crazy off of Amazon and everywhere. But what you were mentioning about the promissory note, do you know that there's a lot of people that buy what's called futures and ETFs, which are promises for gold and silver from banks or like JP Morgan, who are saying, sure, we'll deliver down the road. And I don't think they're going to get a delivery of their gold and silver at all when they want to cash in.
I agree with you. I would, if you don't physically have it, you don't own it. I mean, you can have a piece of paper that says it, but in my opinion, if you don't physically have it, you don't own it. So from what I understand, a lot of times those same notes are sold over and over, or the same gold or silver is sold over and over and over. And so if there was a rush on it, a lot of people would lose out on all the money they spent thinking they owned something they didn't. You have to take possession. You have to take possession.
It'd be like a bank
That's my
loan.
opinion. I'm not an expert,
Yeah.
but I'm taking possession.
Well, you don't have to be an expert to know that it's probably a safer bet to have it in your hands. However, yeah, we're not telling anybody that we're not your financial advisor, which by the way, your financial advisor will tell you not to buy gold and silver because it doesn't help them at all make any money. And so when people tell me they're going to consult their financial advisor, I'm usually like, peace, because they're never going to come back. But we're not financial advisors, but we know what works for us, and we're telling you what we do, and we're telling you that we can help you do the same thing. And we both earn income doing this. Now, I'm not making like, the what is it? The most you can make now in this company is 15,000 a week, I think. And I know that there's some people probably making 7,000 a week because they are really good at this. But I'm not making that, but I'm making enough to cover my bills, and I'm making enough that they buy my gold and silver for me, basically.
Yes. Oh, I'm glad you said that. I have never had to buy my gold and silver. No, I shouldn't say have to. I love buying it. I've never purchased my gold and silver from 7K metals on my own dime. It's always been out of my commissions. So I'm sharing this with people. I'm giving them something of value. In return, they're doing the same, but then I'm getting paid for it, and I'm getting paid in gold and silver. I mean, you can take the check, which I do. Of course, like Erin said, we pay our bills with it too. For me, it was a getting out of debt, move across the country, take care of my kids, be home with my kids more instead of working long hours. But yeah, I haven't ever had to spend money out of my job to buy my gold and silver. That's awesome.
Well, and I left the W-2 business 3 years ago, right when I signed up with this business. And I also am part of a Rodan and Fields, which I don't really make much money off of, but I got into these two businesses at the same time. And so I thought, I'm going to make one of them work. And so I'm going to quit my job and do it. And it didn't take long. Well, it took longer than it should have, but it didn't take long for me to realize that gold and silver was going to be the only one I was going to focus on. because like you said, you're not going to sell your creams for your face after you opened them and used them, and then 10 years later you're like, I'll sell it. It doesn't work like that, even though it's a great product. I mean, obviously my skin
Yeah.
looks fantastic, but you know anyway, if anyone wants any Rodan and my point being that I knew I needed to pick one business, and this was the business that was going to do it. I knew nothing. Just for anybody out there, in case you think you need to know something, I didn't even know why I should own a silver coin. In fact, Bonnie, my friend and sponsor, gave me a silver coin as a gift when I signed up, and I carried it in my wallet for 6 months and didn't do anything with it, didn't show it to anybody. I just strong armed people for the first 6 months to sign up, and I still somehow got paychecks. But then I finally learned about it because Josh Anderson, one of the owners, taught me about Bretton Woods and the Federal Reserve. And I was like, what? Bretton Woods and the Federal Reserve? What is this information? I had no idea. And to learn that stuff blew my mind. And pretty soon, I just wanted to know more and more and more. And so Amanda gave me a great compliment earlier, you guys, that I have a lot of knowledge, but that knowledge started from nothing. And 3 years ago, I didn't even understand one thing about, I didn't know anything about the Federal Reserve. I didn't know why the dollar even mattered or why we were using it. So what I want Amanda else to know is I just have a brain that has to be busy and piling in information in a healthy way, or else I'm doing it in a bad way. And that's kind of a blessing, and also one of my downfalls that the Lord gave me. So nobody needs to be this like blah of information like I am, but because that's one of my gifts, I want to share it and share it as much as possible. But you just, as much as you share, as much as I do. So, I can tell that you know just as much as me.
No, I don't know about all that, but I don't retain it as well as you. I'm working on that though. I need to quit speaking those things. So I retract what I just said, but I love learning from you, Erin. I have actually learned so much. I mean, of course, we had the connection with the gold and silver, and we're, single moms, and whether we were single moms or not, we're just very alike. It just in the way we act and day to day with people. So I really connected with that. But I just, since this whole pandemic, I've been really plugging into what you're teaching people, and you really bring some value to a lot of people. And I think it's really important. You need to be doing that. That's awesome. So I felt totally privileged when you mentioned me doing this with you, and it's awesome. You really are helping a lot of people doing this,
it's a blessing,
including myself.
yeah, and well, thank you for saying that. And I give glory to God, and I'm not saying that so that I can not take any credit, because He used me, and I'm so glad that the Lord uses me. And so for that, I will take credit, but I definitely give thanks to the Lord for it. So you mentioned something really important that I actually spaced out, and I'm glad you said it. On Monday nights, we have a call that, as a business, that anyone can get in on, whether they're a member or not. But we certainly urge you, if you're a member, to please get on this call. But would you tell us about this Monday night call that the corporate business, the corporate guys do for us on Mondays?
Yes. So every week, Monday night, it's 10 o'clock here where I'm at. So 8 o'clock where you are, 9 o'clock Pacific, or I'm sorry, 7 o'clock Pacific time. We have our founders put on a Zoom meeting for anybody and everybody who'd like to jump on and see what's going on. They give recognition, and that's, everybody likes to be recognized for their efforts. So they make sure that everybody who's really worked hard recently is recognized. They congratulate people on their advancements. And there's, the fun thing about this, it's not all work. Well, it's not work to me. I actually enjoy doing this, but there's a lot of exciting things that they share with us. We actually have a trip coming up and a contest. And, I actually won a trip to Cancun last July. I won a trip to Idaho Falls. I went for a fishing trip. Everything was taken care of. The founders took care of us. But anyways, I'm going on and on. They talk about what's going on in our company, what's going on around the world. I've got so much education out of this. But more importantly, you get to see and meet the men who founded this company, and see what it is that they're all about, and see their values, and where that you could line up with theirs, or they could line up with yours. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the most important part of it, is to see how true they are to this company and what they're doing for us. So the biggest thing out of it is you can meet the founders. And I say meet, but there's so many people that jump on. Obviously, we aren't individually talking, but we get to see them, hear from them, learn what's going on. It's very educational. They talk about the business side of it too. Sometimes there's a training, which is great. We all need business training. If you're in business for yourself, no matter what it is, you'll find some value there for your business. Or if you're considering this business, you're going to learn a lot that will help you move forward.
Yeah, and
I think it's important to understand the of this company.
Yep.
So they are our foundation.
Yes, yes. I did type in the Zoom meeting call-in number, and I won't keep you much longer, but I'll tell you guys that you can get to know the owners. You can get to know the founders of this company. It's not hard. All you have to do is go to like a convention or two and introduce yourself, and they're going to remember you. It's amazing. You think I remember a lot. These guys can remember people's names. They remember who we are, just meeting us one time, and that's pretty amazing. But I've gotten to know, Zach Davis well enough that I can text him if I want to. I don't bother him a lot, but I can text him and ask him questions, and I'll let you guys know I am trying to get them to be interested, or at least look into, if possible, getting those gold backs that a lot of you guys are interested in, that I've raffled, but I've also sold on, just aside from that, because I get them and you guys like them. So yeah, you could go buy them too, but the point is we might be able to get them at a better price than most of other people are selling them. But even if not, I know they would sell like hotcakes because they're so popular. So I talked to Zach Davis a little bit about that, and now I've been told I'm going to talk to his brother about it, Blake Davis, about getting those gold backs. So what I would say about this call as well on Mondays is they update us on what's going on in the world, like you said. But remember when a few weeks back, everybody shut down their gold and silver sales, and we were like, silver dropped to $12 an ounce allegedly. It wasn't accurate, but it dropped, and we all logged in. We're like, I'm gonna buy silver,
Right.
and it was like, no, nobody's buying silver. Well, that Monday night after, I wasn't long, or before, if you really needed to me about it, what was going on even before that Monday night call, but they told us exactly what was going on. They didn't beat around the bush, but they said, don't worry, we've got stores, we're going to be fine. And they do, and we've been fine. So they've always told the truth. They've never lied to me or anybody I know in the business. And that's so important, that these are transparent dudes. So Monday night's good because they're going to update us on anything we need to be concerned about or not be concerned about, because that's another plus. So I wanted to throw that in there.
Yes. I make sure not to miss it. It's great. It's great education we're getting. And then I do love when they talk about, and they'll talk about it tonight, I'm sure, what's going on in the world, in the gold and silver world. So
Amanda, I pray at the end of my live videos, and I never would put you on the spot to pray unless you're comfortable. So if you're comfortable and you want to, you can. Otherwise, I'll close this out in a prayer, and we can just say goodnight for now until we get on that Zoom call.
well, I would love for you to pray.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm much better at, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I want to say, since we're ending, I just thank you so much, Erin. This has been great, and be blessed to everybody.
Absolutely. We will pray over everyone, but man, I think you should come on even more often, and we could just talk about anything. We could talk about the mark of the beast, or we could talk about, Bigfoot, whatever. We could just come on if you ever wanted to, and just like this. It's just like a chit chat. We don't have to do anything, but I'll just say a quick prayer, and then I'll say goodnight to you, and I'll see you on the Zoom call, okay?
Awesome. Thanks, Erin. Thanks, everyone, for having me.
So let's close
this was fun.
Let's close our eyes, and we'll bow our heads, and we'll say a quick prayer. Lord Jesus, thank you so much that we have a relationship with you first. Every day I want to grow in that relationship and know you more and more, and to also shine your light for other people to see you through me. And while that's me, that's the conduit, I'm speaking your truth, your words. And Lord, be transparent and honest people. Thank you for friendships like Amanda and all the people in my community, for all the people that were in the chat tonight. Thank you. While I couldn't say hi to them specifically because I had a different chat open, I want you to know I saw you all, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you for being here tonight. And thanks to Jesus that he's brought this community to me. I continue to pray over these people, the full armor. I love them all so much, and over Amanda as well, and her family and her children. We pray for our business, Lord. This is our income and it is our livelihood, and we want to bring that to more people and show them how to do this well with us. And let us do a good job of showing people how to do it well. And we pray for ourselves in this and our abilities. We love you first, Jesus. We thank you very, very much for all you give us. And we pray in your holy, mighty, is worthy to be praised. In the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, my Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Well, thanks again for being here. And I will see you very soon on the other Zoom call.
Yes, 10 minutes.
All right. Bye-bye. I'm hanging
Good
up.
night, everyone. Thank you, Erin.
Yep. See you
Bye.
soon. Good night. All right, people. Well, you know, it didn't go off without a hitch, but there were some hitches there. But the great thing is that you guys were there to pray for us, and I appreciate that so much. And if it was buffering a lot, I hope you'll come back and listen later and share it later. And again, get on that Zoom call. I put it up here. It's the Zoom number 903. So you just get into your Zoom and you do 903. Whoa, I'm having trouble here. 903 289 604. And, you know, it's not the longest call in the world, but it's a lot of great information from these guys. Just get on Zoom and check it out and learn. Live and learn and love. And thanks for prayers for the stream. Again, like I said, come back in, share it. I love you guys. Have a blessed night. And if you're not going to be on the Zoom, I'll see you soon. Peace and love of the Lord, guys. Good night.